Most people that are new to the CBD industry or CBD products will eventually need to choose between a broad spectrum CBD or full spectrum CBD product. There is a third type of product that exists, which is known as an isolate. We're going to stick to broad spectrum and full spectrum today. By the way, I'm Dale Hewitt, owner and founder of New Phase Blend CBD Company, and today I'm here to talk with you about the differences between broad and full spectrum CBD. For the purposes of this video, like I said, I'm going to stick with discussing the differences between broad spectrum and full spectrum. There are a lot of myths that are generally incorrect, about broad and full spectrum, and I'm going to do my best to set you in the right direction. With that, let's begin. So what is a cannabinoid spectrum? A cannabinoid spectrum is a term used to describe the presence or absence of certain cannabinoids in a product. The cannabis plant is rich in several plant-based chemicals, including essential oils, cannabinoids, and terpenes. When dealing with broad spectrum versus full spectrum, the cannabinoid content is the big differentiator. A cannabinoid is just another word that means plant chemical. This is a natural compound within plants. Essential oils are largely extracted for their smell or taste. For example, you may see a lavender-scented candle at a shop. This likely utilizes essential oils from lavender to achieve that particular fragrance. There's also terpenes, which are compounds within many different plants and even some insects. Their intense aromas serve as a defense mechanism from herbivores and other dangers. The combination of the cannabinoid content in a CBD product is what defines the spectrum. The cannabinoid family consists of over 124 different known members, with THC, CBD, CBG, and CBN as the most studied members. A CBD spectrum can be classified as full spectrum or broad spectrum. For this blog, what we're going to do is talk about the differences between broad spectrum and full spectrum. If you're familiar with CBD products, the terms full spectrum or broad spectrum CBD pop up frequently. These terms describe the cannabinoid content of that particular product. The terms broad spectrum and full spectrum are very important in giving the consumer a general idea of what to expect from the CBD product in terms of therapeutic benefits. If you are just coming across these terms for the first time now, then don't worry. This blog will discuss the differences between them in a simple and easy to understand way. So let's talk about full spectrum CBD products. Full spectrum products contain many of the naturally occurring compounds found within the cannabis plant. These compounds include, but are not limited to, terpenes, essential oils, and cannabinoids, including THC. A full spectrum CBD is prepared with the sole aim of maximizing the potentials of the hemp extract for a maximum benefit. Information gathered from scientific research has shown that the presence of CBD and terpenes can inhibit the psychoactive effects of THC, hence the reason why THC is often found in full spectrum products. To remain federally legal, all full spectrum CBD products contain no more than 0.3% of THC. This means that if you're looking for a CBD product, make sure it's made from hemp, not marijuana. Marijuana CBD products are likely high in THC, which make them extremely psychoactive and regulated by US. What are the pros and cons of full spectrum CBD? Well, full spectrum CBD products offer THC. This is the main and potentially only difference. Full spectrum potentially produces psychoactive or sedative effects depending on the THC content. It may cause a false positive during a drug test, and the use of full spectrum CBD may be illegal in some parts of the world due to the THC content. Let's talk about broad spectrum CBD now. Broad spectrum CBD defines hemp-based products like CBD drops or pills, which contain most of the phytocannabinoids within hemp except for the THC. THC is still present in broad spectrum products. It will simply be in minuscule amounts that aren't even measurable. This type of CBD product is widely used in cases where people are interested in enjoying the full benefits of the cannabis plant, but don't want to mess around with the presence of THC at all. Here's some pros and cons of broad spectrum CBD products. They contain little to no THC, thus regarded as legal in most regions of the world. It does not produce adverse side effects. Limitations may exist because of the lack of THC, if you care at all for this compound. So when we talk about broad spectrum and full spectrum, what's the best one? Choosing the right CBD spectrum is purely user preference, nothing else. Please do not let people tell you that one of these is significantly better than the other. When choosing between broad and full spectrum CBD products, it is completely up to you and your own body. You should keep in mind your health condition, body chemistry, and the rules guiding the use of the different CBD spectrums in your local area. Both products produce outstanding results. And remember, you can consult with your CBD expert or doctor for information on which CBD spectrum best suits your condition or bodily needs. To wrap it up, the main difference between broad spectrum and full spectrum CBD is simply the cannabinoid content. That's it. Full spectrum is likely to have a higher THC content than broad spectrum. If you're looking to completely avoid THC for whatever reason, you should probably stick with broad spectrum CBD products. If you don't mind the THC content, then either option will suit you well. You're going to have to do some trial and error. From a personal point of view, I cannot tell a difference between the two products. However, everyone is different. You be the judge.